Over 100,000 people relocate to the Carolinas every year. They are not just moving, they are repositioning. They want space. They want leverage. They want control over their time, their expenses, and their environment. They are leaving compressed metro markets for ridgeline sunsets over the Blue Ridge. Brick streets in preserved historic districts, wide porches catching salt air, and single-family homes priced below what a one-bedroom condo costs in Boston, Chicago, or Los Angeles. You have seen the highlight reel, freshly painted craftsman homes with sharp black trim, families riding bikes beneath mature oaks, remote professionals working from renovated textile mills converted into upscale coffee houses. The message is consistent: lower taxes, lower purchase prices, higher quality of life. What you do not see is the full frame. Relocation is not about aesthetics. It is about infrastructure, durability, environmental exposure, tax structure, insurance markets, economic stability, and long-term resale performance. A property can look like opportunity and quietly function as liability if the fundamentals are weak. The Carolinas offer real upside. They also require discipline. Here is what serious buyers need to understand. Boone. On the surface, Boone represents mountain living done right. 4 seasons, ski access, trout streams, hiking trails, Appalachian State University, anchoring a steady employment base. It attracts professionals who want elevation without total isolation. Summers are mild. Autumn is exceptional. The downtown grid is compact and manageable. Now examine structure. Boone sits above 3,300 feet in elevation. Winters are extended. Snow accumulation impacts mobility. Freeze-thaw cycles accelerate wear on roofing systems, foundations, driveways, and exterior finishes. Insurance pricing reflects that exposure. Maintenance reserves must reflect it as well. The presence of more than 18,000 university students creates a distinct housing ecosystem. Entry-level homes under $400,000 often compete with investor demand, targeting student rentals. In certain neighborhoods, rental yields outperform owner-occupied demand. When investor activity dominates supply, pricing stability becomes sensitive to enrollment trends and rental regulations. Healthcare access is more limited than in larger metro areas. Specialized care often requires travel to Winston-Salem or Charlotte. For buyers with aging parents or medical considerations, that is not a minor detail. Boone is not flawed. It is specialized. If you understand seasonal constraints, rental-driven pricing pressure, and service limitations, it can be a calculated play. If you assume it functions like a mid-sized city, it will disappoint. Asheville. Asheville sells culture and lifestyle. It delivers both. Independent restaurants, craft breweries, outdoor access, architectural character, a creative economy that feels organic rather than manufactured. Between 2020 and 2023, Asheville experienced aggressive appreciation. Remote work freed buyers from large metros. Inventory tightened. Prices accelerated. Now the market is normalizing. Floodplain adjustments in corridors near the French Broad River have influenced underwriting standards. Insurance carriers have tightened exposure. In some areas, premiums have increased substantially. In others, coverage options have narrowed. Short-term rental regulations require close attention. Zoning overlays determine whether an Airbnb strategy is viable. Municipal adjustments can materially impact projected returns. Utility costs are among the highest in Western North Carolina. Older housing stock, particularly pre-1980 construction, often requires HVAC upgrades, crawl space encapsulation, electrical modernization, or foundation reinforcement. Asheville remains a strong long-term hold if purchased correctly. Elevation matters. Construction quality matters. Regulatory compliance matters. Emotional buying is punished. Structured acquisition is rewarded. Wilmington coastal markets operate under a different risk profile. Wilmington blends port commerce, tourism, and film production. It has legitimate economic diversity. It also sits in a hurricane-prone corridor. Flood zones are precisely mapped and periodically revised. A home that appears attractively close to water must be evaluated against FEMA elevation certificates, base flood elevation standards, and storm surge modeling. Insurance costs in coastal counties have increased materially in recent years. Wind and hail deductibles often range between 2 and 5% of insured value. On a $500,000 home, that represents significant exposure. Rapid population growth has placed strain on stormwater systems, sewer capacity, and school infrastructure. These are not disqualifiers, but they are variables. The coast should not be avoided. It should be underwritten. Buy above base flood elevation. Favor post-2005 construction with reinforced roofing systems and updated building codes. Budget conservatively for insurance volatility. Coastal ownership rewards preparation and penalizes complacency. Greenville has emerged as one of the Southeast's strongest balanced markets. Advanced manufacturing anchors the region. International investment tied to the automotive sector supports employment stability. Downtown revitalization around Falls Park created authentic urban energy without large metro congestion. Growth has been rapid. Traffic congestion alongside 85 and major commercial corridors reflects infrastructure catching up with expansion. Certain school districts operate near capacity. Humidity introduces a construction considerations. Slab homes without proper vapor barriers, crawl spaces without encapsulation, and insufficient attic ventilation can create long-term moisture issues and indoor air quality concerns. Greenville remains competitively priced relative to national averages. Employment diversity is real. The key is execution. Evaluate builder track record. Inspect drainage grading. Review HOA governance and reserve funding. The fundamentals are strong if you buy with discipline. Charleston combines architectural heritage, port strength, military presence, healthcare expansion, and tourism scale. It is one of the Southeast's most resilient long-term appreciation markets. It is also low elevation. Tidal flooding occurs in certain historic districts during heavy rain and king tides. Drainage infrastructure in older areas predates modern engineering standards. Preservation regulations maintain visual integrity but can limit structural modifications. Property taxes may adjust significantly upon sale due to reassessment. Buyers must calculate post-closing tax obligations rather than relying on the seller's historical bill. Insurance layering is common. Standard homeowners coverage, separate wind policies, and potentially flood insurance may all be required. In exposed zones, total annual premiums can be substantial. Charleston's appreciation strength is tied to constrained historic inventory, port expansion, aerospace employment, and healthcare growth. The operating principle here is simple. Buy elevation. Do not buy purely on charm. Hilton Head Island. Hilton Head markets precision lifestyle, golf communities, private beaches, managed landscaping, controlled access neighborhoods. Island geography introduces constraints. Ingress and egress routes are limited. Evacuation logistics during hurricane season must be understood before purchase. HOA governance is strong and often restrictive. Architectural guidelines preserve uniformity but can limit personalization and exterior modifications. Insurance is expensive. Salt air accelerates corrosion on mechanical systems and exterior hardware. Maintenance cycles are shorter than inland properties. For buyers seeking a second residence with structured rental income in established communities, Hilton Head can perform. For those expecting low-maintenance coastal ownership, it will not. Beaufort offers a quieter coastal alternative with military presence, providing some economic stability. Tidal flooding affects certain low-lying neighborhoods. Marsh proximity enhances views but increases exposure. Elevation certificates, seawall condition, and lot grading are critical review points. The employment base is narrower, heavily influenced by tourism and military activity. During economic slowdowns, resale liquidity can tighten. Long-term sea level projections and insurance underwriting trends must be factored into acquisition strategy. Visual appeal is not a substitute for structural analysis. Blowing rock. Blowing Rock functions as a luxury mountain micromarket. A high percentage of inventory consists of second homes. Short-term rentals represent a meaningful portion of supply. Year-round infrastructure is limited compared to larger cities. Elevation and wind exposure affect roofing lifespan and power reliability. Access to advanced medical services requires travel. This is discretionary real estate. It performs best for buyers treating it as a lifestyle asset, not as a primary logistical base. Hendersonville. Hendersonville attracts retirees and semi-retirees seeking slower pace and lower entry pricing relative to Asheville. Water infrastructure and reservoir capacity have drawn attention during drought cycles. Older homes frequently contain dated electrical systems, less efficient HVAC equipment, and aging plumbing. Healthcare access is stronger than in smaller mountain towns, but still below major metro scale. For buyers prioritizing lifestyle stability over aggressive appreciation, Hendersonville can offer balance if modernization is handled proactively. Mooresville benefits from Lake Norman and proximity to Charlotte. Corporate relocations have supported growth. School performance metrics are competitive. Lake health has been debated due to nutrient runoff and seasonal algae blooms. Waterfront buyers must review shoreline stabilization, dock permitting, and environmental documentation. Commuting into Charlotte can extend beyond initial expectations, particularly during peak hours. Mooresville's upside remains tied to Charlotte's economic trajectory. Environmental awareness and transportation planning are essential components of purchase evaluation. The bigger picture. The Carolinas are not in decline. They are in transition. Population growth places pressure on roads, schools, utilities, and insurance markets. Municipal responses vary. Some regions adapt efficiently, others lag. If you are relocating, take a structured approach. Review FEMA flood maps and county GIS data. Request insurance quotes before submitting an offer. Calculate property tax exposure post-closing. Inspect grading, drainage, and foundation type carefully. Visit during off-season conditions. Speak with long-term residents, not only recent arrivals. Relocation is capital allocation combined with lifestyle design. You are not buying scenery. You are buying exposure to climate patterns, municipal policy, infrastructure quality, and economic cycles. The Carolinas can deliver space, financial efficiency, and quality of life. They reward informed buyers. The opportunity is real. So is the risk. Before committing six figures, verify what the listing photos do not show. That is how you convert a postcard into a strategic move.